It's your boy Clyde, back for another sick podcast Anvil show. Things are starting to get a little creepy for me. Signed King and Drake last week. Kareem Hunt coming in for a visit tomorrow. JT now has an excuse to be away from practice to rehab. Listen, I don't know. We got a lot to talk about. Plus, there's a game this week, by the way. But before all that, Sammy, go ahead and bang that.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. And Bill Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Absolutely, it's going to be sick. I know my soundboard was acting a fool last week, but this week is loud and clear. Fellas, come on and join me. Welcome in. Goodness gracious. Good to see your ugly mugs. How's your weeks going?
Busy.
Taking too long. You're taking too long.
Busy.
It took too long.
Busy.
Busy. Okay, and speaking of busy, the Indianapolis Colts and their running back room has been quite the story, and it's been very busy. And the latest is Kareem Hunt went and visited the Saints, and before he could even get through with his physical and all the things that they were trying to do, he had an invitation to come talk to us tomorrow. And just to go along with that, ironically, JT was excused from practice today, his first excusable practice to go rehab because his ankle needs to be rehabbed. I don't like this. Like, I'm going to just be 1,000%. I don't like this. Last week, like I've mentioned in the intro, King and Drake came in. I'm like, okay, you know what? Veteran running back presence, that's pretty solid. He's 29 years old. He can do a number of things out the backfield. Put him with our younger guys, because Zach Moss is hurt. I'm still okay. JT still number one. You bring in Kareem Hunt, who was a third-round pick 5-6 years ago. He's only 27 years old. Of course, we know his story. He got in trouble for, domestic violence, kicking a female. Lost him 1 year of his career, but we've seen what he's done when he's been back on the field, backing up Nick Chubb. He's a very, very comparable back. And unfortunately, what I'm seeing right now, before I open up the floor to you fellas, is I feel like we're compensating potentially for a loss of JT with a multitude of different backs. And it's almost as saying, yeah, we might not get the 1,860-yard production and 20 touchdowns from 2 years ago, but you got serviceable backs that will help Anthony Richardson, and it won't be such a void whereas, we can't run the ball at all. This is what I see. It's starting to make me cringe a little bit because I don't want to lose JT. But I'm going to punt the ball. I'm going to punt it to you, Patrick. I'll let you give your thought process on what's going on because I am not okay with this currently.
Well, you call me conspiracy theory if you want, but isn't it so convenient that JT has an excuse to miss practice? Could that actual excuse be he's going and working out for another team, taking a medical evaluation? Since we're bringing in Kareem Hunt, are they going to be able to repair this relationship? From my sources, it's no. It's an absolute not. They're not going to be able to repair this relationship.
Who the hell is your sources?
I ain't giving you my source, but I got a source.
Is your fucking left ear? What the fuck?
It doesn't matter where it's at, who it is mine. And I ain't telling you who it is.
Because it's horseshit.
No.
Matter of fact, I think it's this guy.
What? A bullshit? A bullshit?
That might be who is the source.
That's your source, not mine.
A what? A bullshit.
But will I hate to see JT go? Absolutely. Absolutely loved what he did here. Absolutely love the character.
Whoa, you're speaking in past tense. Get your tense right.
A man, but hey, if you don't want to be here, I'm sorry. You know, I don't lose respect for you, but I lose that love for you if you don't want to be with us.
This is not how this works, man. Don't be him.
It works for me.
Don't be this dude.
Don't be the dude to tell me how I can feel.
Don't you be him. Don't you be that dude.
It's hard not to be that dude.
Listen, our team, let's just be realistic.
I just said I want him here. I like JT.
Hold on. Let's just be realistic for a second before we kick the ball over. Onside kick it to Acosta. But let's be fucking realistic right here. We have stunk for like 3 years. Okay.
And
so I get this
our
whole
only shining light last
was
few years.
Jonathan Taylor. And I'm gonna say this right here, and I mean this in the most respectful manner. Yes, one player is not bigger than the team. But what we're not gonna do, okay, is pretend like all players are created equal, because they're not.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why you have superstars and you have the dude on the roster. He's definitely a superstar. He's not the dude on the roster. And before we punt it over to, Acosta, because I've onside kicked it and punted at this point, let's talk about this really quick. Now, listen, I can't spend nobody else's money like I talked about last week. That ain't my job. But I tell you one damn thing.
Sounds like you're about to spend somebody's money.
I tell you one.
Tell them what to do with it.
I tell you one damn thing. Before we save a fucking well, we better pay.
Now you're being that dude.
The horse.
You're being that dude.
You're definitely being the horse's ass right now.
You better pay the bell cow before you save an orca. I don't give a shit what lane. We are not in the business of, I don't even know, marine life. Now, again, do whatever you want to do. Absolutely. But just make sure that you're covering the spread for the parts that you need to cover. And this is the part. You're not even going to talk to this man about a contract, but then in the same breath, he going to say, I'm going to pony up $20 million to save an orca. Listen, bro.
Fly an orca across country.
I don't give a shit.
Put that dude back in the water right there. Shit. Why can't he swim around?
We can't. We cannot. We will never live that down.
Never.
If he flies the orca across the country and JT walks, we will never live that down. And so I need everybody who's in Jim's corner to again hey Jim, these are the things that you might want to do them. Just don't make it a public service announcement, because right now is not the time to talk about spending buku dollars on marine life. Okay, Costa, you've waited long enough.
Guitars, drums, whatever else he spends his money. Now, Acosta, give me just a second. Now, I agree with you, Clyde. If he's got that kind of money to fly an orca cross country, put him in a different part of the water, same friggin' water, and damn fish swims, let him swim around. But it's not my money. I cannot even begin to fathom how to tell a man like that how to spend his money.
But is it our team or is it his team? It's his team.
It's his team.
Contractual obligation, but it's our team via support, and we're not going to be okay free and willy, but letting JT go. I'm not okay with that.
All right.
I'm
just saying, hey,
save us.
My source is pretty reliable.
Watch your damn mouth this week too.
Just saying.
Before you even start.
What did I get that for?
Not you, him. That's an Omaha for him, man. And his potty mouth for last week. Fuck that. Fuck this. Fuck.
You know
he
what?
was definitely on one last week.
I'm about to be on one again. You keep.
Here we go. Here
I'm
we
just
go.
saying.
Look, his face is getting red and everything, Clyde. Look what she done to that guy.
I'm gonna have to bang his right out of here. Here we go.
I'm trying to hold back laughing to what it is because you won't let him MFer speak his mind.
Say your part, bro. You got it.
First of all, the Jim Irsay thing, he's got fuck you money. He can do whatever he wants. So anyway, I don't know, man. Part of me is concerned, and then the other part of me is just like, it is what it is at this point. I mean, I'm just ready to move on. Whether it's with JT or not, I'd love to have JT with us. I really, really would. He's a superstar, like you said, Clyde, and his potential is out of bounds. It's just, I don't know, this agent of his. I think when we were on the field, when me and Thomas were on the field last week, we've seen him a few times walk by, and his demeanor is completely opposite of what he came from or what he is, actually. We all know what JT actually is. He's a humble human being, really good dude, stand-up dude, polite, quiet, but just think about it this way. What has JT actually said other than his back not hurting? It's all been his agent's mouth. And I just don't think he's liking how this process is going. I think he wanted it to be a little bit more smoother and not controversial. I feel like that's how JT is. He's not a very controversial guy. He just wants to play ball like everybody else and get respectfully paid for, which I respect. His agent's asking for a ridiculous amount of money, at the moment. Not saying that running backs won't potentially make that kind of money that he's asking for. Who knows? But, $60 million is absolutely ridiculous a year. And I just think, I think the Colts
or 60. What'd you say? 16 million?
16, not 60.
Oh, I say, man, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
No.
I'm about to sign up to be a running back tonight.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh shit! Time to get back in the gym.
Jesus Christ, because I'll take a tenth
yeah.
of that shit.
Time to get squat rack. But no, so I think the Colts are just preparing for some collateral damage that may happen. I don't want
to cry or what?
Hey, I don't want it to happen, Clyde. I really do not want this to happen. I was very opinionated last week. I was saying, let the motherfucker walk. Whatever. But you know what? It's about the team as a whole. I'm going to miss him if he goes. I really want him here. A lot of fans still want him here, but he said he's not acting like himself. And I think I don't think it's that he's mad at the Colts organization. I think it's just like he's not enjoying this process was what he should. It should be an exciting time to play for an organization that loves you, that backs you. And I truly believe that because Jim Irsay, clearly stated that I wasn't pointing at Jonathan Taylor, what he said on Twitter a couple weeks ago. So I know that he's cared for here. But, his agent had to run his mouth. And it's just, I'm afraid personally for him, I'm afraid for him at the same time. I think his agent's going to hurt his career more than he will helping him if he does move on. He's definitely hurting him here. So I think it's panic at the moment and it's collateral damage time in Indianapolis.
I'll tell you what. If there, and this is in no disrespect to a man who's, trying to secure the bag, as they say. That's what the young kids say. Yeah. But I would really, because I read something actually probably a few days before all of this blew up. And it was on ESPN. It was an article about Le'Veon Bell, absolutely regretting how he left Pittsburgh and saying that was the worst mistake of his career, which, as we know, he ended up with the Jets. That was a shit show. Then he just kind of bounced around a little bit and then he was out the league. And this was the dude prior to all of that was known as the top back in the NFL. I would really wish, if they really are a brotherhood, that Le'Veon Bell, if people give him the credit that he's due for what he did while he was in the league, would reach out to people like this in these situations and be like, hey, man, learn from somebody who fucked this up royally. I left a good thing in Pittsburgh searching and seeking the money, and it turned out to be terrible for my career. We remember it. When he went to the Jets, bro, Le'Veon Bell was not the same dude that was doing what he was doing in Pittsburgh. And even when he ended up with the Chiefs, and you're like, okay, this is about to be dangerous, he still didn't even really hit it off with the Chiefs. And I'm like, yeah, bro, you don't, and that's what's crazy about the NFL, maybe even more than the NBA. I really think that even if you sit out 1 year, no matter when you do it, or if you just stagger into a year, i.e., dealing with something like this, and you don't get a contract, and then you come in late, that time missed is like tenfold in the NFL versus like other leagues, in my opinion. Like it's just like what happened to the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you not you no more. And I would hate for JT to go through something like this. I know he's a stud. I know that he can play, and he's still young. He got youth on his side. But bro, like sometimes the grass ain't always greener. You might get the bag, but you end up, I don't know who we can consider like a very poor organization at this moment, but you end up in a poor organization that A, can't block for you, A, don't really have nothing going for themselves, and then all of a sudden you're afterthought. But you're getting paid the money you want, but you're getting the hell beat out of you because they're giving you the ball 28 times a game. You getting your average goes down from five yards a carry to 2.6 because the line stinks and you're the only thing on the team. Then what? Like imagine if he ended up in like Arizona. Get the hell out of here, bro. He's gonna get battered to shit. Like he's gonna get beat to hell.
And that's what I was trying to say That's just what I was trying to say last week. Since these players nowadays, and I get it. I mean, I'm not one of them, but I hear and read, and see why they want the money. They want to take care of their families. They want to take care of their health. They're looking long term. They're putting their, the NFL is getting harder hitting every year. CTE is a thing. All this stuff. They want the money to be able to take care of themselves, and I get it. But there's a point where if you're truly passionate about the game, take the money that you can get, if not a little bit better. If you can negotiate a little bit better, that's great. But let your passion fuel your game, not the money. Like you just said, Le'Veon Bell was a prime example of that.
Yeah, bro.
He let the greed take over his passion, and now look at it.
Worst mistake.
And guess what? When your passion is bigger than your greed, it's going to pay for itself. Endorsement deals, contracts, bonuses. I mean, the possibilities are endless as long as you keep playing well. But if you do what we're afraid JT's about to do, he's not going to get any of that.
So let's dance with this devil. All right. So let's go ahead and say we close a deal with Kareem Hunt. What does that even look like going forward? Now, and again, let's start with saying I am not, upset that Kareem Hunt is potentially coming into the building. But what I'm also saying is Kareem Hunt because he's been in a backup role the last couple of years, and we've seen the damn Cleveland Browns have been a top 3 rushing team because of Nick Chubb and him. So great addition, in my opinion, if you've already secured the bag that is Jonathan Taylor, and then you add guys like because the running back room is only going to be so big. So if you got him, you got Kenyon Drake, you got Zach Moss supposedly ready after 6 to 8 weeks, and you got a kid that we're super excited about, Evan Hull. Plus, you still got Deion Kane. Plus, you got JT. What's going on?
Actually, I just thought about something. I just thought about something. What if they're stacking this running back room to entice him to stay, bringing in veteran help?
Yeah, I mean maybe, but I mean
because like you said, that all these guys have been second string players, right? But they've been solid second string players here lately.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't see them as threats as taking his position.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying like not motivation to get his act together. I'm saying like here we're bringing in some talent, that can back you up, that can give you some good solid advice, going forward because he is young, and I think it could be that too. I'm not saying that's my full-hearted opinion, but it could be a tactic. You know what I mean?
So before I kick it to Pat, this is what I think. I think in all the years past, Chris Ballard has learned from his mistakes, i.e., not being prepared for the quarterback switch, not being prepared with should we bring in other wide receivers, whatever the case. So he's like, from what I'm building with this team, both sides of the ball, now we have another fucking potential hiccup. What I'm not going to do is not be prepared this year and be like, oh, okay, I gotta depend on, rookie late drafted, running back in Evan Hull, who we just hope is great. Instead, let me bring in some veteran presence, some real veteran presence that's had success, and we'll be prepared. This is what I really think, which is scary because to me, this is not a competition room. Prior to the JT talk, there was no competition in that room. Competition all over the field and other positions, you want that, but in there, when you got a bell cow that you know is a playmaker, you don't need competition over there. You just need somebody to be able to, give him a breather. That's why we had a Zach Moss and didn't invest in Kareem Hunt earlier, or Kenyon Drake earlier, is my opinion. And we just really replaced Naheem Hines with Evan Hull, my opinion. But Pat, you take it. How you feel about this now 6-back room?
It's exactly what you said. It's got to be. He's got to learn from his mistakes. That is, I don't care what the market dictates. That is a marquee spot. It's a marquee position. Clyde, you've mentioned it several times on this program. We don't have a running game. That's why we can't do this. Oh, our running game's great, but our passing game's shit. Oh, this, and that. The quarterback and the running back, it's hand in hand. You got to have elite at both positions there. Now, I will throw this out. Pat McAfee is tweeting out to old boy from Minnesota,
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Trying to get him to hear. So when I see that, it makes me want to automatically think, damn. You know what I'm saying?
When Pat just said that he had a source that said that things were better than what was initially being given off. So what the hell is the source talking about, Pat McAfee?
He said he was treating people better at the facility.
Come on, Boomstick. What we got going on right now?
I don't know. But when this thing's all done and said, whichever way it goes, and none of us are going to know until it's over with. But go back and start connecting the dots. And if you've done this before, when Pat McAfee's reaching out to people, there's a hole to be filled.
Oh man, look.
I'm just telling you, connect the dots. Connect the dots. Now, when it's like I said, when it's all over with, we'll find out if he's staying or if he's going.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Jim has said, by no means necessary are we trading this man. So this is the only thing that I can think.
Okay, but Jim also last year said Frank Wright's job was secure. 2 weeks later, he fired him.
Yeah,
he's a billionaire that will go back on his word.
I said this to start the show that he's lied to us before.
Yes, you did.
So I mean, that's why I'm just. This is why, as a fan, I need to look at the glass half full. I'm just looking at both sides of what can happen. That way, I don't get
Taylor jersey, man. Fuck.
I mean, I got 2 of them in there, bro. And then I got a signed Bobby Okereke jersey in there. I mean, you see what happened with that? So I mean, I'm just saying. What was that for?
I'm just pressing buttons at this point. I'm not okay.
I understand your opinion, Clyde, but I just think as fans, we need to start looking at glasses half full in these serious situations.
Here's what I also think too, though. I think that you can also, again, I'm not trying to spend somebody's money, but maybe I am. I also think that you can look beyond your own emotional, thought process. We're not going to have this conversation this season. We're not even prepared to. Why the fuck? I don't think
no one even thought about it happening.
Why the fuck not? Why is that such a stickler? Why the fuck not?
I said that from the very beginning. I'm just like, why is this conversation happening right now?
No, but I'm saying the conversation is why not? If the man comes and you say, hey, I want to talk contract extension, why is it like a hard no? And I think, again, think about this. He's probably thinking, well, I played on a bum ankle for you. I showed my dedication to the squad. Does that count for something?
It should.
Because we keep saying play out your damn contract. Okay, cool. But I also played with a fucked up foot on a shit team where most guys would have probably been like, yeah, let me can it in. For
but he went out, week 8, week 9 last year for that ankle?
No, he got hurt in week 3.
Right, but he went out and in week 8 or 9, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I don't remember. And then the report comes out that he was getting surgery, and it was only a 4 to 8 week recovery.
Okay.
And
Well,
and here we are months past that, and
look at Shaq.
he's still saying his ankle hurts. He's
Look at
still
Shaq.
saying
That's a little-
he's
that's
got
a
to rehab it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
What's wrong with that?
why you gonna come to me and want more money if you're still hurt?
Because I'm on a last year. This is what I said last week. Because I'm on a last year of my deal, and we know how this goes. More so than extending me, you're probably just 1 year me.
Okay, then I'll say
like
this.
And then
Okay, then I'll
then,
say this.
okay.
Pittman's in the same boat. Why ain't they arguing about Pittman's contract right now?
Different position though. Way different.
But he's your wide receiver. He's the wide receiver 1. He's your golden horse, right?
True,
Supposedly.
but also Pittman understands. So this is what Pittman understands what he has to do. JT is kind of like, no, look what I've done. It's a different conversation.
My point was going to be, again, I just can't get off the idea of this because I solely believe this is what this is. It's my opinion, but it's agency.
Okay,
It's
maybe
agency because he's like, Pittman's just like, well, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Because I mean, and then think about this too. JT before he switched agents was promising Anthony Richardson, "I'll be here for you. I got you."
Yeah,
then all of a sudden his attitude changes all of a sudden. He gets a new agent.
that is not something that we're debating. It's definitely his agent, but at the same time, I also think that I don't give a fuck who your agent is. I am signing the player. Your agent is going to ensure that maybe all the dots are dotted and the T's are crossed. But if I'm the owner of something and I'm trying to pay Patrick as my left guard, I'm talking to him. I don't give a fuck who's representing him. Bring whoever you want in here. I'm talking to you. Okay, so that's my thing. Jim Irsay, you're talking to Jonathan Taylor. Fuck the agent. You're talking to him.
I'm saying that his agents may be using him as a puppet, telling him what to say.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, but he's also a grown man. I'm gonna give him that at 24 years old. I think he can make a little bit of his own mind up.
Brainwash. That's what I mean. That's just what I think. But I'll keep my mouth shut.
So Shaq agent too. It makes no fucking sense. Makes no sense.
It don't. It really don't.
Makes no sense. Shaq is happy as shit, jumping around, dancing, blah blah blah, and he represented by the same fucking guy. Makes no sense.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, what the hell?
Okay, but in all honesty, if you was the GM and your running back was hurt last year, coming off of an ankle injury that had a 4 to 8 week recovery time, and you're reporting to training camp on the PUP list because your ankle still isn't healed, are you really going to get into a contract negotiation with him? Because you can sign that, you can pay him what he wants, and he's still broke. So now you're throwing money out the window like you do with the quarterbacks. They paid Luck $25 million after he retired. They're paying I think they still got to pay Wentz some money this year, and they're paying Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's getting $18 million.
Right. So do you want to keep adding to that?
I look at it like this, bro.
And your star running back is still broke, still not on the field, still on the PUP list, still rehabbing. See, to me, Taylor's timing couldn't be worse to ask for the start of a contract negotiation because of these things. Because if I was the GM, that's the way I'm going to look at everything. Yeah, you did this. Yeah, you was our only shining light for some dismal seasons. We love you. We want you here, but now is not the time. You got one more year left. It's a nice year. You over $5 million plus the incentives. Show me that you're back to form, and then we can get into this. But you got to show me first.
I don't see. That's what I don't agree to. Because then it's kind of like
I agree 100% with that.
Well, so here's, I mean, this unpopular opinion. I get it. We all have a boss. But when you get into this show me or shut up and play thing, then it's back to that circus mentality. Like I'm some type of property. What I'm getting at is this. I understand who writes the checks. I understand that you'll have an opinion as the check writer. But you got to also understand the athlete too, right? The athlete is not behind closed doors and boardrooms and whatever. So what I'm getting at is you make money off me whether I play or not. Jersey sales, shit, whatever. Just the idea that I'm still on the team will keep fans in the seat until I'm not on the team. We've seen that with other players before. So what I'm saying is that market share is usually something that for the longest players had no fucking idea how to even break into. Well, this is the modern day and they know how to break into that now. Hence the CBAs and all those things.
And
So what
and
I'm
they
saying is collectively, right? Not changing the CBA because it's locked in until it's not. But collectively, when you're working with people, you could come up with things that make sense. And right now, this argument over what makes sense and what doesn't make sense is really between two men with everybody's hands in the jar. That's this them too. Like I'm not moving from that. Them too. I don't give a shit about whatever the agent's name is. I'm not about to ruin his name trying to say it right. I don't give a shit about, anybody else outside of Jim Irsay and Jonathan Taylor sitting down talking. But this show me, prove me thing, we got to get away from that. I don't believe in
why?
that. Because they're not show horses, man. What the fuck you want to see?
Yes, they are.
Well, no, Pat.
Yes, they are, and that's how
No.
they get paid.
No,
I
they
mean,
really don't.
You don't get paid for future. You
That's-
get paid for your past
It
performance.
could actually go back to high school football. If you don't perform well, you're not starting, are you?
Okay, fine. But also saying that show me like dude, the 2,000 yard season is rare. Only a handful of athletes have made that happen, right? And Jonathan Taylor isn't one of them. So what I'm also saying though, understanding how electric a player is, bro, I've showed you how electric I can be. Even last year on a hurt ankle, when he played the Raiders, he broke off a 75-yarder for a TD on a bum ankle. I was at the game. Like, what do you want from me, bro? Like, Jesus Christ. And last year, we couldn't block anybody. And he still had a game or two where he showed that he was capable of making things happen.
Yeah, he still
for a
almost
terrible
got
team.
900 yards
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
with
So-
a shortened season. No, I look, I understand and I totally get what you're saying.
The dude
But
averaged
there's
5 yards a carry.
There's
What are we
other
talking
pieces that you got that you are
What the fuck are we talking
overlooking.
about? What are we, I'm lying. I don't know. He scored 5 touchdowns in one game. What are we talking about?
Okay. Do you see Al Bundy scored 5 touchdowns in a single
Al
game?
Bundy is a
He's not
fictional
getting no big
human
ass
who did that in fucking high school, Polk High School in fake Illinois somewhere. You know what? There's a game this week. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's get off this shit.
Fucking Al Bundy. I am done with you for tonight.
Fucking Al Bundy.
Are you shitting me?
I'm showing my age. I'm sorry.
It's not
Oh,
about showing
God.
your age. It's about comparing JT to fucking
Bro.
Al Bundy. Are
I
you
cannot.
serious?
He started it with the 5 touchdown shit.
Because that was against the Buffalo Bills in
You had the
Orchard
number one
Park.
defense that week
It was
in the
not
league
fucking Polk High.
in the cold.
And
Al
this
Bundy
is why,
also
and this
sells
this
food.
is why people keep coming back week after week to watch our show.
I didn't even say what I was supposed to say to start. Hey, follow us on YouTube, and our Twitter handle, Sick Pod Colts, and Facebook as well under the Sick Podcast, IG as well. And we all now have Twitter handles, right? Which we could either say at the beginning or the end or the middle. So we'll say in the middle.
Yeah, why don't we have the little maybe Sammy can fix this for us, have the little things at the bottom with our names, we can put our handles and shit in there.
I don't know, but I am at Colts Clyde on X, not Twitter, X. What is your handle there, Acosta? I'm the play writer here.
I was
Like
gonna
what Peyton say, he's trying to call the plays. Just run the damn play. Acosta, what is your Twitter handle? Your X handle?
I was gonna say my X handle is at Big Country 1864.
All right, guy over to my left. What's your
The
X
guy.
handle?
I'm just the guy now.
Yeah,
What an
bald guy to the left.
My X handle is Patrick DOERFLE1.
That's why you go last because you got to spell it out.
I know it.
I was waiting for someone to do this.
I knew that would bring it out, Eddie.
Catch us on the X. All right, let's talk about this game real quick before we get out of here. We don't want Sammy to wrap us up quite yet. So we got a game this week. We go to Buffalo, ironically. We're talking about the Bills again.
Yeah.
Is Al Bundy gonna start running back? Okay, this is a preseason game.
It's a possibility.
This is a preseason game. Are we excited for this? Do we care?
I am.
mean, okay, good.
I mean,
Let's talk about it.
hey, it's football.
Wait, because last week y'all said it's the Hall of Fame game to be cared.
I didn't say that shit.
That's
I
what this
said-
guy
that's
to my
what that-
left.
I was gonna say that's what
he
that shiny head
Yeah, I
motherfucker
said that.
said.
But if the Colts were playing in the Hall of Fame game, it'd be a
We-
different
We
story.
give a shit. Well, you know it's gonna
We
be
don't give a
98
shit then.
players on the sideline, so we don't know who's gonna play. You know, it's gonna be all the guys that are trying to make the team. But
There
who
is a
you think
report saying that Anthony's going to get some play time.
Oh, he's got to. Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah, I absolutely expect to see a series, maybe two, and then it'll immediately cut to Ellinger. It'll be Ellinger for the rest of the game. Facts, because I really think I don't know Shane's position. Now I don't know how the Eagles were the last couple of years, but you remember the Colts only carried two quarterbacks 2 years, well 3 years ago. I'm saying this wrong. The 3 previous years to last year, we only carried 2 quarterbacks. So we didn't have that third active guy. But now this year you can have like an active third guy all the time or something, right? Based on
That doesn't take up roster
it
spots.
doesn't take up a roster spot. So I mean, I think he just kind of wants to see. I mean, somebody said on one of our posts, hey, start Sam, give him a chance to show. What? But I think we've seen what Sam can do. He almost won us a game. He didn't quite win it, but he almost won us a game against the Redskins last year. Almost. Sammy almost did. It was Sam Ellinger versus what's their guy? Heineke. It's hilarious. They both wear 4. Nobody picked those 2 quarterbacks to be on the field. We thought it was going to be, we thought it was going to be the return of Matt Ryan, or I'm sorry, return of Carson Wentz versus Matt Ryan, and that didn't pan out at all. But anyway, sticking to it. We excited about this game. What? Talk to me about it. Anything to look at?
Ready to see Anthony Richardson. I'm ready to see AR. Just really get the real feel for the speed of the game with however long he plays in it, 1 or 2 series, first quarter. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm ready to. I'm excited to see him and the other rookies. See how they do in the full speed game. Just Colts football, baby. Just glad to see the blue and white back out there on the field. It's just an exciting time.
Pretty straightforward. Patrick.
I'm going to follow a lot of what Acosta just said. Really excited to see how he handles the pressure of the speed of people actually coming at you. We've seen what he can do in training camp. Looks pretty good. You can see some holes. He's still got some learning to do, but that's to be expected from a rookie quarterback.
Right.
Now the lessons really start kicking in because you've got 300-something pound guys and no red jersey on. You're going to get hit. I want to see how he handles all that. I want to see how our O-line is handling what the difference between last year to this year to see if they're, actually jumping forward instead of backwards. I'm real interested to see the running backs.
Too soon, bro.
Stop. It might be too soon, but you mentioned it earlier that it's a hell of a competition room right now. And that excites me. That competition in that room excites me.
Oh, it does not.
Yes, it does.
No.
Any
Okay.
competition is good.
Hey, the only other competition that's exciting right now, it's beyond the excitement of the running back room, is the tight ends. That's gonna be exciting to see.
See, I don't even think that's competition. I think we have every free agent tight end.
What are you talking about?
We have every free agent tight end right now. We've got 37 tight ends.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about your potential starters.
Oh shit! He said we got 37 of them. Yeah, bro. There's gonna be some talent that don't make it. Cause I really like the Will Mallory kid, and I don't know, he might not make it. I mean, we only gonna carry
I see him
tight ends.
I see him going to the practice squad. Honestly,
but see, that's not a safe place because you can get swiped off the practice squad.
I know.
This is my thing, bro. Like, man, I'm so old school, bro, and maybe I'm just out of touch. Give me my hard-nosed 38 players, and it could be 15 scraps. Like that's how teams used to be built. Chris Ballard loves competition. We know he loves it, but sometimes you can't keep it all, bro. Like they're not gonna extend the roster to 60 or something. Like you're gonna have 53 players when it's time to kick this shit off.
But when you got more cherries to pick from, you're gonna get the best cherries.
I don't always agree with that. Because sometimes you let the cherries go that you thought, well, I can go without that one, and then somebody swoops in and takes them. Dude, like our practice squad, if you've been paying attention, I remember one year, and Titans fans might laugh at me, but one year Titans fans had about 9 Colts on their fucking team that at some point were either starters for us or roster, or what do you call it? Practice squad players. They had like 9 of them. And I was like, damn, every damn dude on their team was an ex-Colt. This is the type of shit that I'm talking about. And oh, by the way, they went in the division. Now, how much those players played into that, I can't give them, a metric, but I'm also saying they knew that they were good enough to make their team. I think that was like 2 years ago. They had like 9 of our fucking dudes on their team that started that year on our roster somewhere. They were all Titans. What the fuck is going on, bro? So that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Sometimes you want dudes to be like, yeah, you should probably go be a substitute school teacher, bro. Like NFL's not for you. Great. Cut his ass and get the fuck on. But you bring in all this talent and then you're sitting there like, splitting hairs looking at plays and you're like, oh man, he had one more tackle than him. He had one more catch than him. And then this dude goes off and be great. That pains me.
But you also got to think not everybody's going to fit the schemes of the team. They can be great players, but if you ain't fitting in that scheme, you're not going to do so well.
But they don't necessarily draft players that don't fit their scheme. You know that. We're not talking with a broad brush here. We're talking about Chris Ballard, bro. Everybody he brings into this house, certain type of attitude, certain type of scheme fit. Period. They don't just draft just to draft. They don't just pick up people just to pick up people. He's told us this, Pat. What are you talking about? You've heard him speak this very clearly. So I don't understand scheme fit. We're rarely firing dudes because they're hitting other dudes in the face with a helmet because they're fighting. Like we don't have that problem. I mean, they might gamble on the team. You might kick a person in the club one night. Yeah, well, yeah, but they're usually not going to be a problem upon them arriving. Sometimes shit just happens, and that's no joke toward the ones that happen, but that's the truth.
It does, but the more competition you have right now, the easier it is to pick the best cherries for your situation.
All right, man.
Now, some of them might go to other teams and do great.
Yep.
But if they think that this person is going to fit better than the other person,
and ask me why.
You got to go with the fit.
Ask me why, though. Ask me why I feel the way I do. I'm going to tell you why. Because every fucking year, excuse my language, I'm sounding like Acosta, but every freaking year, the Colts are in 1 to 3 slots after the draft in top RAS score, talking about getting pure athletes. Since Chris Ballard has been there, we've been in that top conversation of these are like some of the most athletic dudes of that draft. almost every season. So those are the type of dudes you're giving up. You're not just drafting like, oh, that pick up Smith from fucking Western Kentucky. We know we gonna cut him before he even signs his fucking welcome letter. Like, get the hell out of here. We didn't even give you a playbook, bro. Like, my bad. Sorry, you didn't make the team. I just got off the plane. I know. Get the hell out of here. We don't sign those dudes. We sign dudes is like, holy shit, look at this freak of an athlete. If he can just put it together, that's Chris Ballard's phrase. If he can just put it together, we might have something. Bro, you can't keep doing that. That's just because you can't stash these dudes. You cannot stash them.
No, but you can pick. So if I've got 3 comparable linemen,
yeah, okay,
and then I put them in camp, and I see one is fitting the system better than the other 2s, now I know which guy I need to take.
Watch what happens when we cut. What was that? What was the very last dude we picked? The freak of nature tackle. I forget his name. It's slipping my mind. Wait till we cut him. See what happens. Somebody go scoop his ass up like, thank you. And they
that one I don't think
active roster.
What is that one? He getting cut.
Shit. We just picked up the big dude from the Lions, Skipper. So we brought in more. Yeah, I think his name is Dan Skipper or something. We just brought in more, experience, but that's going to limit a guy like that. So I'm telling you, we cut a guy like that, or we cut a Will Mallory, or we cut one of these other like freakishly athletic dudes. Give them a little time. Those corners that we got, I mean, Juju Brents, yeah, of course he's gonna make the team. But those other long, rangy corners, go ahead and cut them.
Jake Witt.
Go ahead and cut Jake Witt. Somebody gonna scoop his ass up and make him an active player. He ain't gonna get no burn, but he gonna stay on the team, and he's gonna be a fucking monster. And we're gonna be, oh, we drafted that dude, but we have too much talent, so we cut him. And then I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's right, Patrick.
I seen his ass at camp on Sunday. That's a big son of a bitch.
No shit. So sometimes you want to do, like, I want to look the dude square and I'm like, I know you're not making the team. Get the fuck out of here. And we don't even care. That's how Bill Polian used to do it. Bill Polian would pick up 14 dudes that are camp bodies. Shout out to a guy that used to be here on this panel. And he knew that before they even got the call. Now, they might have got excited on the end, like, oh, yeah, I got picked up by the Colts. We just need you to come here and get beat up for a couple weeks to get these dudes better and then go back to selling shoes, Al Bundy, or whatever the fuck you do. Let me chill the fuck out. So we do have a football game. We'll have more analysis. Hey, Clyde is going to Hawaii. Be mad all you want to. Send your hates all you want to. I'm going to Hawaii.
You will not blend in Hawaii. I'm sorry.
What race?
A bullshit?
Yes, I will fit in because I'm paying my money. If you pay your money, you fit in. I don't give a shit where you go. And I paid my money, so I'm gonna fit the hell in.
You get that grass skirt on, you will not fit in. I'm sorry. You look like an Oompa. You look like an Oompa Loompa out there picking chocolate.
Okay.
Hey, what kind of prize you gonna bring me back from Hawaii?
Yeah, seriously. What kind of souvenir? What kind of souvenir are you bringing me back?
Like Santa? I ain't bring you shit. Bring you my love back.
That ain't enough.
Oh well, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I'll look.
I know what you can bring Pat. I know what you can bring Pat back. You can bring him back a coconut bra.
That would be funny. And you got to wear that at a tailgate.
You think I won't?
It's done.
Oh my god!
You think I won't?
It's done. Give me your measurements across. We got to get, because you can't. You're a little wide, so we got to get. You got binocular boobs.
Hey. Now you got me covered up. Shit.
Oh God, that's great.
And as for me, I kind of look Polynesian at times, so you can bring me back one of their war clubs. I love those things.
Why do you get cool?
No, you get the grass skirt.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get the good thing. I'm making fun of both of you. You get a grass skirt. He gets that. Sarah can get a Warhammer. That's how it works.
Don't give her the war hammer. She'll use it on me.
Facts. That's why we need her to keep you in line. Anyway,
Son of a bitch.
I want one of those sticks that you can light on fire on both ends so I can twirl it around.
You know what that's called? You can make it yourself.
What's it called?
You can make it yourself. Get a
What? I
Just
can't.
get
this
it.
is what it's called.
Uh-huh.
we have been thankful for you tuning into this show. And with that, Sammy, take us out of here.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast and Bill Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.